Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving deep into sales analytics. Now, I know what you might be thinking spreadsheets, charts, numbers, but it is so much more than that. Your sales data is actually one of the best storytellers you have. It tells you what's working, what's not, and exactly where you're headed next.
So I want you to keep this question in mind through our entire explainer. Seriously, think about it. Every single customer interaction, every deal you close, and yeah, even every opportunity you miss, it all leaves a little data trail. And that data has a story to tell. Our job is just to learn how to listen to it. Okay, so just to make sure we're all starting from the same place, what exactly is sales analytics? Well, here's the textbook definition. But let's break it down. It's basically the process of taking all that raw data and turning it into actual intelligence. It's about spotting the patterns, predicting what's around the corner, and ultimately, just making smarter decisions to get better results. Simple as that. All right, let's imagine this whole thing as a journey. And, every great sales journey has a starting point, figuring out who on earth you should even be talking to in the first place. So this first section is all about finding those future customers.
Think of these as the essential tools in your prospecting toolkit. For instance, lead scoring helps you rank your prospects so your team knows who's hot and who's not. Then you've got sales territory analysis, which is basically a treasure map showing you where your best customers are hiding. ABM analytics helps you go big by focusing all your energy on a few high-value accounts. And customer segmentation, that's about grouping similar people together so you can talk to them in a way that really resonates. All of these tools are designed to answer one single crucial question: who are our most valuable potential customers and where do we find them?
Okay, so you've found your people. Now what? Well, this is where the real adventure begins. How do you guide someone from just being curious all the way to signing on the dotted line? This section is all about navigating that tricky, winding path. And this is the map for that path, the classic sales funnel. It's the journey pretty much every customer takes. They start with awareness, just finding out you exist. Then that turns into interest. Then they move into consideration, where they're weighing their options. And finally, boom, the decision. We use things like funnel and pipeline analysis to see how people are moving through these stages, and more importantly, to spot where they might be getting stuck. Now, this is a really important distinction to get. Think of funnel analysis as the helicopter view. You're looking at the health of the entire highway. Are there any major traffic jams? But conversion rate analysis, that's like being on the ground, checking the flow of traffic from one specific exit to the next. One gives you the big picture. The other gives you the nitty-gritty details. In sales, time is everything. So what's this number? This represents a hypothetical sales cycle length, the average time it takes to close a deal. Is your cycle 30 days, 90, maybe 180? Knowing this number is absolutely critical for forecasting your revenue and for spotting those deals that are starting to drag on. And what's the secret to shortening that sales cycle? Action. It all comes down to this simple idea. Every action counts. Sales activity analysis is what tracks the work, the calls, the emails, the meetings. It connects what your team does every single day directly to the results, showing you which activities actually move the needle.
All right, we've navigated the process, now we're at the finish line. After all that work, every deal ends with an outcome. You either win or you lose. This section is all about digging in and learning from those results, good and bad.
This is where the rubber meets the road. A simple chart like this, showing sales performance and quota attainment, makes it crystal clear how everyone's doing. You can see right away that Team A is crushing it, while Team C might need a little extra support to get over the line. No guessing games here. But just knowing who is winning isn't enough. The real gold is in understanding the why. That's where win/loss analysis is an absolute game changer. It forces you to ask the tough questions. When we win, what exactly did we do right? And when we lose, why did we lose and who did we lose to? The answers are basically a free masterclass in how to get better. And so often, that moment of truth really comes down to price. This quote just nails it. This is where pricing strategy and discount impact analysis come into play. It helps you figure out, is our price right? And are the discounts we're offering actually helping us win deals, or are we just leaving money on the table? So, you made the sale. That's fantastic. But the story is not over, not even close. See, a single sale is good, but building a long-term relationship, that's great. This section is about shifting our focus from one-off wins to real, sustainable growth.
This number here represents one of the most important metrics for long-term health, customer lifetime value, or CLV. It's the total amount of money you can expect to make from a single customer over their entire relationship with you. A high CLV is a sign of happy, loyal customers who love what you do. So how do you increase that lifetime value? Well, you might be surprised. The biggest opportunities are often sitting right there with the customers you already have. This chart shows how growth doesn't just come from new business. It comes from upselling and cross-selling to your existing customers, serving them better with more of what they need.
Of course, there's a flip side to this coin. You can't have a high lifetime value if your customers are heading for the exit. That's why churn analysis is so incredibly important. It's all about figuring out why customers are leaving so you can fix the root cause of the problem before more people follow them out the door.
Okay, for our final section, let's pull the camera all the way back. We've looked at all the individual pieces of the puzzle. Now, let's see what the big strategic picture looks like when it all comes together. A simple table like this is where everything starts to click. Using channel and product performance analysis, you get this amazing strategic overview. You can see in a split second that product A is a superstar online, while product B does way better through partners. This is the kind of high-level insight that literally shapes the future of a company. So how do you actually manage all of this? Well, it really comes down to two things. First, you need great sales dashboards. Think of this as your mission control, pulling all your key numbers into one place. And second, you need sales analytics governance. That's just a fancy way of saying you need a rule book to make sure your data is clean, accurate, and trustworthy. Because without that, your whole strategy is built on shaky ground. Which brings us right back to where we started. From that very first prospect to the lifetime value of your best customer. Your data is telling you a story. It's telling you what your customers need, how your team can win, and where your business needs to go next. The data is always talking. The only question left is, are you listening?